Riot enters the game today, and with his arrival, we now have begun the newest arena team, the Symbiote Six. Now, arena teams are generally speaking the best all around teams in the game. So we're very excited to see what he brings to the table, what he's going to be able to do. And there might even be some people that will be able to get some benefit out of him today. One of the things we want to look at is the tags of the character. He is a villain. We always need more villains, especially now that we're moving into the Age of Fear. Different tags become important. It dictates some of the content that we're able to use the characters in. He's also a city character. City traditionally is an underpowered area of the game. We do have the Vigilantes, great team, the Insidious Six, and many of the Sinister Six characters are city characters. Really good, very, very powerful. Some of our Daring Warrior characters are city. So to have another character that falls under that umbrella, that's going to be good. It's going to be good for now and future use. Again, he's a symbiote. We know that we need symbiotes in the that section of the Breaker Scourge. So if we don't have a maxed out Silver Surfer Breaker as we start to acquire this team on the free-to-play side, then that'll help us to move the difficulty forward and be able to get more and more shards for our character. Now, we also want to keep in mind he is a protector. That is his place on the team. So we need to look at the stats to see what kind of protector he's going to be. Is he going to be good? Is he going to be functional in that area? We don't want to forget about Spider-Verse and Symbiote. Again, we always a symbiote, but I should say we don't want to forget about Spider-Verse. There are Spider-Verse characters that we can use to unlock other legendary characters that we can just use maybe to get on our roster to help us get through some of those dark dimensions. Not saying you should power up those characters, but if it calls for legendary, sometimes just having them there and relying on these stronger characters to get us through. He's a fear character as well. So when we power that area up in the Age of Fear with the Celestial Transducer, we can get some extra stats on him in that manner. And speaking of stats, let's go and see what he is good at. In overall power, he ranks 6th overall. So he is currently the 6th strongest character in the game. That is something to keep in mind. His health stat is coming in at 4th overall, and for a protector, that's what we want, right? We want that large health pool. We remember with this team, he's going to be sharing his health pretty much with the rest of the team, right? He's going to always be rebalancing the team's health. All the health is going to come down as a unit. So you need somebody who's really healthy to make sure that there's plenty to go around. So him having the 4th overall is impressive. And keep in mind, the only characters in the game then that have more health than him are Silver Surfer Breaker, Annihilus, and the Maestro. So that's a very impressive health stat. Damage puts him in 30th overall for a protector. That's not bad. He won't be doing the majority of the damage on his team. So we have him represented here doing a little boxing, those precision strikes. He will be doing damage. This team has the propensity to go often, so he will be doing damage. We just want to make sure we're focusing our strikes to do the most good. It might be just simple damage, or in this case, he's going to be adding or spreading negative effects. So choosing our opponents wisely will be important. His armor stat is 9th overall. So again, that's very impressive. Those of us who've been playing for a long time, maybe we recall that the original Thanos, even now, right, he's back. Original Thanos is back. He has a very high health stat and a very high armor stat. And that is one of the things that make him so dangerous. So we see the same thing here with Riot, really high health stat, really high armor stat. We should expect him to also be dangerous as well. His focus is 88th. So that's the lowest, obviously, of all of the stats that he has. So when it comes to applying those negative effects, maybe we look out and see how that's going to work. Maybe that means we're going to make him a raider. I'm not sure, but his focus inherently is really low. He will need to put some negative effects out there. I don't know how the focus works regarding spreading negative effects. He's going to spread some as well. We'll just have to keep an eye on it and see how the character works. However, as far as resistance goes, he has the 8th highest resistance in the game. So if you're trying to put negative effects on him, that's going to be a little bit of an issue. I don't know if this is how symbiotes really eat, but we're just saying his resistance is high because he's healthy. He's eating clean. And again, it's just a good lesson for all of us, but I'm curious to see how it works. He should have defense up much of the time as well. He'll have immunity, so obviously can't get negative effects there. But when the immunity is gone, he has defense up. I wonder how difficult it will be to land negative effects on this character. His speed is 128. Not bad. That really puts him in the top 30 overall for characters in the game. And this team, they continue to snowball with their speed. We remember that I believe it's the Symbiote Quicksilver is going to be giving speed to the rest of the team, and that speed is going to continue to stack. So starting out at 30 for a protector, that isn't bad. That isn't bad at all. He's going to act third on his team. Again, the turn order will get moved around a little bit as characters do their thing and the different speed stats are adjusted, but it's not bad. He has a really interesting mechanic. So we'll have to see how this team actually works. I'm curious. I haven't been able to test it yet. So I'm wondering how everything's going to come together and what that's going to mean for the game as a whole. Let's kind of remind ourselves about what this character actually does. We'll go back to our slideshow that we had about the Symbiote 6 characters. Again, we're focusing on Riot. We'll just look at his abilities. His passive is punishing progeny. So on spawn, he's going to gain taunt for 3 turns. Now, again, that is a very interesting thing. Most characters don't have 3 turns, but in the meta that we're living in now, people are able to clear 2 turns, generally speaking, worth of effects. So if he's on spawn with 3 turns of effects, even if someone tries to clear it, he will still have the taunt up. On spawn taunt in itself is really, really powerful. And as we saw, the character with a high health stat, high armor stat, this will make this character good for years to come, even when perhaps his team starts to get broken up. An on spawn tank that taunts on spawn, I should say, is always something that is good. Not only that, see, he's going to barrier himself and all Symbiote 6 allies for 30% of that giant max health pool that we saw. So we're adding barrier on top of the health and the armor, and he's going to get immunity. The first time him or a Symbiote 6 character drops below 50% health, so even if we are able to get tunneled down early, we'll reduce the duration of trauma if it's on that individual or if it's on us or another Symbiote 6 ally. You're going to bring all the negative effects from that ally to self, clear the negative effects, then heal for 5% per negative effect cleared. Barrier that ally, and that could be us once again for 30% of this character's max health. We get the safeguard now for 2 turns, immunity for 2 turns, and death proof for 2 turns. And while we have taunt, we cannot be stunned. So this will indeed happen, even if we're able to get tunneled down early. His ultimate is Riot Act, and it's available right away if we wish to use it. Energy cost 7/7. We're going to attack our primary target for damage and prolong the negative effects, except ability block, stun, and trauma by 1. So again, this is one of the things that this team is going to do, prolong negative effects well beyond the 2 so that they cannot easily be reduced. He's going to rebound chain then to 4 targets, doing damage the whole time and spreading all those negative effects from that initial target to the secondary targets, everything except for stun. So once again, when it comes to that focus, I'm not sure how that spread works. Is it the same thing? Is it a resistance check? Just something to keep in mind. If the character has 2 Symbiote 6 allies, then you're going to be able to apply trauma for 2 turns, so that primary and those secondary targets. So then we're locking those negative effects in place. And that is a very interesting point. If we have 2 Symbiote 6 allies, so with Riot coming into the game right now, people who already have Null and Venom, right, that's 2 Symbiote 6 allies, can start to use the team and get the synergies going. I don't know if that will affect Arena, as it were, right away, but we can start using them as a 3-piece as soon as we unlock this character in some form or faction. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see the experimentation that will start to take place shortly. We want to remember that counterattack does break the chain. So we have to decide between, do I want to target this person to do damage to them or to put negative effects on them, or can I spread this around? If there's counters on the board, we're only going to be able to go as far as the counter, and then the chain is broken. Good news is the attack is unavoidable and it cannot be blocked. So you'll be able to hit no matter what, and the negative effects then should apply. They won't be at least blocked from being attached to the character. His special is Symbiotic Rampage. Also rated to go turn 1, energy cost 4/4. You're going to attack the primary and adjacent targets for damage, reduce the duration of all negative effects on him, and all Symbiote 6 allies by 2. Apply defense up for 2 turns. So that's just again, an example of how the reduction effects generally work, right? You reduce by 2, and with this team, people are adding negative effects beyond that. So traditional reduction mechanics will, they might not work. The effects will still be prolonged. This move will also give him defense up for 2 turns. If it's in arena with the 2 allies, so we can start experimenting with this, we'll reduce the duration of all negative effects on all allies instead. So we bring in some of those other individuals, Blue Marvel, Professor X and whatnot. We'll be able to keep them safe from negative effects. He's going to heal for 15% of his max health and reapply the taunt. The attack cannot be blocked. His basic is adaptive arsenal. So you're going to attack the primary target for damage and drop an offense down. So again, be mindful that many of these symbiote characters will be called in for assists at some point. And whenever he's called in for that assist, he's going to drop an offense down. If he uses basic standard, he's going to chain to a target for an additional 3% damage and drop that offense down. So he'll target 1 and target 2. If he's going to attack another symbiote ally, so if he's being mind controlled, he's not going to deplete the max health, and he's going to do less damage to his Symbiote 6 allies. He'll be able to spread it if there's a counter in the way. Counterattack breaks the chain. The attack cannot be blocked, so he will get the defense down applied. It won't be blocked from landing. So that is a quick overview of Riot and how he plans to interact, how we think he's going to be interacting with the game, Symbiote 6 team or otherwise. I'm excited, again, to see these characters. I like symbiotes. Arena teams are wildly powerful. Most of their abilities are not tied to their game mode, so they're just great all around. And we have some theory crafting to do since we have these different events going on, like the Silver Surfer Breaker event. Super excited. Now I want to know what you think. Are you looking forward to Riot? Is he a character you're going to purchase? What about when he comes out free to play? Do you have plans for putting him in play? Is he just going to be part of your Symbiote 6 team, or do you think he can be used in other places? I'm curious to hear back from you. And if you haven't seen these videos right here, please check them out. They're legit.